Improvement Committee bought the base anchors and they were put in this year. And thank God we put them in because we
fully
had
recognize
somebody
that.
that would have been really hurt this
No, I
year.
fully recognize, like, I mean, there's a reason that for 4 years running, between Stillwater to Carbon, all the way up to Red Lodge, our shining jewel of the county, we get to host the tip-off tournament every year. There's a reason for it. This little thing might look like shit to the person driving down the highway, but anybody that's played an inning on that ball field knows. And I mean, another home tagging thing, my brother knows how to cut grass. Our outfield looks like a goddamn professional cut that. It's a double cut outfield. I mean, you don't see that even at MSUB. I mean, what we're playing with here is so overlooked about where we're at. And I like where your head was at. Like, I want to go with that all day in my heart, but I feel that for that to ever take place and come to fruition, I'm being a realist. I don't think we're going to do our side to meet you in the middle on that. And
Yeah.
spend the money and we just move on.
Oh, no,
and
no.
And I hate to say that.
No, and that's fine. And you did get the other part correct on what you could do with the 25.
Sure,
Where to start with the 25.
sure.
Okay.
And so the other part is like the way I ballparked it on calling anybody I know that crushes, and to get down to an eighth or quarter, there's not many people that mess with an eighth and a quarter. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's straight landscaping material, and to fill that infield, that's a massive square footage. So on that, but the other thing is on that fence, if we hang a sign saying so-and-so crushed this, did it, and you do an advertisement on it, that's where you get your backer on that, and you can meet them in the middle on it, so. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I went
no, I
way through that, so I
respect your
didn't
opinion,
prep
and
any of these guys.
my beef is not with, you guys were not the ones that asked me.
Sure.
But when I'm asked to do something, I expect.
No, you superseded everything that we expected, 110%. 110%.
Okay. So, are we not gonna do anything with the FEMA money? For the ball
To me,
fields and parks?
okay, so if I had anything to say on this is, it's not with the ballpark. I'd say we still pound on down there, whether they wanna cover some sod, we get Tivetni's involved, and we get rid of that burnout mark that's up there by the new awning, sure, great. I'd say we pursue on the city parks, but as the ball field, realistically, we need bleachers, we need running water, and
Yes.
a little bit of infield. And I think we can move on.
Okay. And will that $25,000, would that cover that?
Oh, easily 6 in your cover.
Okay.
You've, take your, to know where you're covered, you've got a bid for sod. So that kind of gives you, but at this point in time, you don't have the water to
Keep it alive.
keep it alive. So,
That was the part that worried me, is like, yeah, we put all that, but so on that, there's follow-up on that
Yeah.
as well. If you don't maintain it, there's something to
Yeah.
it, and that's why I feel that on the ballpark, we get, I mean, as of right now, still a good-looking ballpark. Season
Yeah.
ends next week. We, even on a dry year, we can run through off our, I mean, it is archaic at best, our watering service down.
yeah, we need water in both parks to
City Park
sufficiently.
needs it underground.
And the deal is I would say at that point in time, then you seed it because you'd save more money if you seeded it earlier in the year if you had your water system. I mean, the whole deal is about making the 25 go as far as possible.
Okay, so,
Your biggest deal is your deal underneath your playground equipment. You don't even have 8 inches of fill at this point in time. You have some kid break their leg, your insurance is gonna be breathing down your neck.
And I
And-
get that, but I mean, realistically, any populace of under 500, you go to any city park, and I mean, like, I'll walk with you and draw a tape, and not being shady on this deal, but draw a tape and you show them, most of them are rent still 3/4 minus.
Well, even 3
Under
3/4, Nate, that doesn't have
No, that's
anything
what
in
I'm
a
saying.
lot of parts. And it has glass in a lot of parts that have come in.
well, Nate, would you be interested in taking over a committee?
Yeah, I'm 100%, but I want it in my back pocket.
Yes. Well,
Like,
you get to pick your committee and bring it to the council, what you wanna do with it and how much it's gonna cost,
Gotcha.
and that way we can get it done.
With the city park, is it possible to get some new equipment for the kids?
$25,000.
I know, but what
like
we
the-
have isn't even,
So since
Really-
the whole country went extremely, I'm gonna use the word woke, like,
Yeah.
it's stupid expensive on anything. So you basically gotta put foam pillows out there for kids to play with. Like the old style toys that we're used to, swings and
Right.
everything, it's,
At this point, there is 2 spring riders. They are on order. We called today. And the improvement committee is paying for those 2 spring riders for little kids.
Down at the ballpark.
We're kinda in a quandary. Do we put them at the ballpark where parents don't go except for during ball field season? Or do we put them at the park where little
They
tiny
get more
ones
use in the park.
don't
I'd say
have
city park.
anything to do? And yes, I would like to see some playground equipment at the ballpark, but we kinda have to, we're divvying our money out and it doesn't come real easy.
Well, I've
City
seen more
park.
people using the playground at the park.
Yeah,
park.
that's what we
Like
had,
you said, unless there's a game,
yeah, and that's what our intention was. One of them's a double spring rider of a fire truck and the other one is a plastic molded spring rider of a frog.
So what's coming down the pipe through the county right now to bring back like Babe Ruth, Legion style, is if it gets pushed through and they can make it happen, they get the funding, it's gonna be a Carbon County thing to where we can jump in with the local Dodgers and all that. And we're hoping to hear by January, if it makes a push, that would be outstanding for this area. I mean, to bring Legion and Babe Ruth ball back to this area, there hasn't been a Legion or Babe Ruth team in so many years. I mean, you're talking, shit, I'd say 95 or more.
there wasn't a Legion.
We never met Legion.
Never
We
had
saw
a
Babe
Legion
Ruth.
down there, we had to.
And it was
Yeah,
early
Babe Ruth
90s.
age group. Legion had to go to the.
Yeah, you had to go to war. So
Well,
right now, they're calling the Carbon County Riders,
Why don't-
and they're trying to get money out of it.
Why don't we, Nate, get this figured out with Tammy and some costs and that, and then can bring it to the council.
Yep,
That'd be all right?
I like it.
And
Anybody
as
want to
far
bring
as
on
like,
board, I'm good.
I know the water deal for the ballpark down there, Mark has got that on the calendar. So as soon as we can get some of the other fires put out,
Well, if they're gonna come through in October and put that redundant water main through there, I mean, what better time than to fix it is when they already have it dug up.
And it's already
They'll
shut
do
down.
all the digging for me and I just gotta get in the hole and hook it up.
yeah,
And that was my thought on that
yep.
after meeting with Chad.
well, and you'll have to check the inside of the ballpark, cause I don't know if all that got repaired or not.
I was over there with Jeremy a couple of times and he kinda explained to me the situation where it froze and the meter busted and then it froze again and the meter, or there wasn't a meter and it busted.
No, we had called a party to turn the water off. And I walked in November and I had water shooting from up above
Yeah.
all over the place. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying, you're gonna have somebody on the inside telling you to turn off and where the leaks are at. And I don't know if the toilet's frozen busted.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, it's
That
just gonna
could be,
take us some
yeah.
time to get it figured out. Not a
That could
problem.
be where your
Right down with
25
this one.
comes up.
Yes, we need to go ahead and,
The leaks in that building.
anything else for the FEMA ballpark? I think that's pretty well taken care of, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Maternity leave. As you all know, our clerk is gonna have a baby.
Really?
You didn't know.
And I look really good.
So, we were looking in the ordinances to see where, are we covered with maternity leave? And she has some vacation time saved up, which is what she planned on doing. But maternity leave is kind of, wasn't addressed. I don't quite know how we missed that, or just, some of us didn't even think of it, I guess. So, what do you guys think about maternity leave for her? Paid maternity?
Is there not any state or federal mandates that are in place that take that out of our hands?
What is your insurance?
MMI,
Mm-hmm.
the MMIA is an insurance, yeah.
I would be
It's not-
surprised if any employee of a city in Montana doesn't have,
I think maternity leave would be in,
Well, that's what I thought, it should have been in our handbook.
yeah, it should be
And-
somewhere.
When Harley was looking for it,
It's very vague in the handbook. It just says, like, it states that you guys have to approve the amount of maternity leave, like, before I take it. Like, you guys have to approve, like, you know, can I take 4 weeks or 6 weeks, you know, that's something
3
that the
days.
council has to
So
approve.
you would have to,
It's about probably what I'm gonna take.
you would have to
As much
have,
work as I have in this office, I don't have time
you'd
to
have to
take
give
off.
us a figure to approve,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
how much you're gonna need.
Yeah,
So,
But that
I'll
is-
speak
that
on this
is
part, we
if
just went
you
through this,
employ
my
people.
job
Yeah.
is, we went from 6 to 8
Oh,
yeah,
weeks,
okay.
it was no
Understand,
numerical
otherwise it
value.
doesn't cover that.
Numerical value was
Yeah.
figured off your existing
So really
wage,
ain't-
and you
There
either
we go.
agree on 6 or 8.
No,
weeks. Yeah.
And I would motion 8, and it's up there,
do that.
is where I stand on that, cause, I mean, each pregnancy is a lot different than the last. You can't cookie cutter it, and if you wanna come back in 5, come back in 5. I don't care if I come in there and see a little sweet baby in the corner with us.
So,
Bring her in.
so it's, their standard
6
40-hour week?
Yep,
wage?
whatever their numerical that they're at,
Yeah,
and then they just get a base wage
Yeah.
for X amount of weeks. So 6 and 8 is like industry standard right
yeah.
and then during that, we'll have, Lacey will be our stand-in clerk.
now. Who she agreed with?
That was actually one of the stipulations of me taking the job.
I was worried, I didn't know what we were gonna do for 2 months, I thought we were just gonna have a train wreck of these guys yelling at us.
Yeah, no, Lacey's gonna come in, and then I do have some back paperwork that I'm still working on that I will be working on at home as well. That I can take home and work on the work computer and get some stuff done there as well, so,
Only stipulation, take 2 weeks for yourself.
oh, I will.
She needs,
Please.
I just wanna make sure
Oh,
that
yeah.
she's being taken care of.
Yeah. Dude,
So-
push.
We need to make that into a motion. To approve 8 weeks maternity leave.
I move that we approve 8 weeks maternity leave for any employee under Fromber, whether Public Works or clerk.
Oh, cool, Mark, you're gonna get 8 weeks off maternity.
I'm pregnant. No.
You showed me that baby bump.
Yeah.
Out of your belly, but
I'll
it's-
second.
Right.
You can adopt a kid.
Okay, we
That's
got a
right.
motion and a
It's all
second to
count.
approve the
I don't want
maternity
more
leave
kids.
of 8 weeks for any employee
Do we
working
need,
for the town of Fromberg.
do we need to make a motion to put this in our, handbook as well?
Well, we'll have to clear it when we do, when we,
Lawyer.
Lawyer, okay,
when
Awesome.
we redo the handbook, we'll have to make sure that it's in there.
sure.
So we have the motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much for taking care of that.
And thank you for going for 7.5 months still at the office. That means a round of applause.
Okay, old business. Selling of property. Is that something you guys wanna do? You guys wanna sell any of the city property?
No,
I don't think we need to, at this time, sell any property without seeing how the city could benefit before. Our department would love to have, we'd love to have the building next door,
Yeah.
City Hall.
I wouldn't.
There might even be a deal somewhere.
I have talked with him about that, and that would be very nice, and,
Well, I'd love it. We're all for it, but again, to get grants money for that, they want you to have, I can't just go and build, well, I can if we had the money just to build a building. They want you to go for grants, you have to have it, as you all well know, engineered. You know what the engineers cost.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
We are working, trying to figure out a way to get a building built.
yes.
my 2 cents on this, after seeing the second CMA, like I can show it to you guys, but after just hearing this, it's not even worth throwing out. My second CMA that I got off this was those lots at 41 each, and she was just going high on the spec of demand. She's like, show me a piece of dirt that a city owns that they're actually selling. And it's like, she's like, pull it up. And she's like, I'm gonna give you 24 hours, show me anything. I couldn't find a goddamn thing. She's like, city don't sell dirt.
Yeah.
And that was it. She's like, you don't sell dirt. And she's like, right now in this world, she's like, hang on to everything you've got and wait to it, because all you're gonna do is you're gonna throw it out there, you're gonna get it beat up, and then your bottom dollar is what you're gonna
Plus,
get.
it costs you so much more in residual, you know, you sell the lot, but then it costs the city.
And you break it
Look at
down,
what
what
we might end up paying to get that guy up on the hill hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, it's not just
To
a
bring-
matter of getting $30,000 in your hand.
I love the
one
idea
day.
of expanding Fromberg, I truly do. That is the biggest thing I'd love to see.
I think those
But,
lots down there can be better used for the town
mhm.
than selling them.
Okay.
What happened to the, Jerry, what happened to the trailer court or trailer parking you talked about to him down there? Cause that's why you cut those trees, wasn't it?
Well, it just, that
That's-
was an
Well,
idea.
down along there, to clean up those lots,
So we were gonna have like storage.
put places for
Right, what
storage.
happened
yeah.
to that idea?
It's still on the books.
Is
We-
it?
Yeah, we just haven't
No time.
decided, and
It's gonna take time to do that,
money.
and some money.
Well, that's why I couldn't figure why you wanted
Yeah.
to sell it. When you could
Well-
make money on it. Just
Or we,
rent it.
yeah, we started talking to this guy that came in with
Yeah.
a good story, and
So on the topic of old business, selling property, not on the agenda for next month, I move that as of now, we sit with what we own and tread water, and yeah, we hold what we own.
Okay.
I move we do not sell.
Second, whatever that was.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to
Not sell.
not sell any city property at this moment. All in favor?
I,
Okay.
and I will also add that we don't have a real good history of selling property.
That was not a very good deal, that's for sure.
Yeah, unless I can do a lot more homework, I'm not gonna see some, I don't know.
Okay, next on the list, Public Works Director.
You got it.
Oh,
You're
so.
up.
Is that me?
What have you been working on?
What have I been working on?
Yes.
Water leaks mostly.
Okay.
Sewer plant, it's going to hell. No, just that what valve went to heck, and I gotta flush the system with acid through the saggers, but getting asphalt in to fix holes, just trying to not spread myself too thin.
Yeah. Good.
Where are we at with the redundancy, the project that we were talking about?
The last time that Chad came out and he visited with Mark and Harley and myself. And they're working on it, Chad.
And we got our SAM number in, and that's what
Yeah.
we're waiting for.
And
Since
we've
I
been-
started working here,
Yes.
and it's finally done, and I'm so excited.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but we've been battling
You
a
need to
scam.
get out more.
They don't even
But that was
Massive.
literally the biggest hoop I've ever had to jump through.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous.
because if we don't have a SAM number, we don't get any money.
Hmm.
cool.
So now that's the hurdle cleared. So we can start in that process. But we're still looking at this fall, getting that started.
Yeah,
The redundant water line, the water line down,
the sewer line.
Mine spur and then
yes,
yeah.
the
What
water
about-
line down
what about
Minesburg.
the sewer line?
And the sewer line at the
Okay.
same time.
They're all grouped
It's
together.
all
then.
grouped together. They have not come up with a figure They're trying to do the study because they're saying maybe we'll have to raise the sewer rates to compensate.
Yeah, and they were gonna come up with a
And they're
number.
coming up with a number.
It's basically
They will be
materials
here.
change by the week and that's what's
Yeah.
keeping everything.
Mhm.
It's just
You throw a
waiting.
number and they're either gonna eat it or they're gonna mark up 20% to cover the incidentals.
Yeah. But it's still on the books, still going forward. They haven't told us to sign on the dotted line for any monies yet.
Okay. How about, notices to take care of property? Are we doing any of that?
Depends on what you mean, like, to
Lawns,
clear, lawn.
mowing yards, that type of stuff.
Just contacts with people trashing their yards, mostly. I mean, I really haven't been contacting anybody on,
Okay, there's a lot of people that have just stopped mowing their lawn, you realize that, right?
no, I haven't had time to drive around town a lot, but
Have you seen that?
if you can
Okay.
get,
I've seen 2 or 3, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
are we doing anything about that?
I have not stopped and visited with them yet. However, that is on my agenda to do.
Which spots would that be that would be the worst?
Well,
Well-
the one up the street from Tim was one of the worst ones in town, and he's taking care of that partially.
Up and to the right, Capitals?
No,
On Billy's Alley.
no, the kid that used to be the city guy,
Oh, Jay.
Jay's property.
Jay's place, yes. Yes, that was,
New guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
that is frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one spot that I see,
Well,
but
yeah.
I'm sure there's more out there.
That one, and
Right
yeah,
next
there's
to
another
Jamie's
one.
house.
I gotta get over and talk to the guy at Billy's Alley again.
Maybe have a weed ordinance.
yeah, if you got anybody in particular or any houses, you know, that, yeah, I mean, I did look it up, there are, I mean, in looking at other ones, there's garbage ordinance, the junk in the alley,
Yeah.
weed ordinances, I mean, there's a lot of,
Right,
A lot of
and we need
ordinances
to,
I
we
can
need to hold
actually-
people's feet to that fire,
Still hurts.
absolutely.
Make money.
yeah?
Cause we need
And
to,
when that can.
Well, that
Weed
and
is on city property.
we got a
You're
place
gonna be
over on
on
School
hot
Street that needs cleaned
Well,
up
there's a blue
and
house, they don't grab the weeds, there's five.
I think she was first.
Full on battle.
Did you have a question?
Tammy.
Tammy Taylor, I do thank you for the job you're doing, and believe me, I'm not saying anything negative towards you. But there is a huge patch of Canadian thistle at the park,
okay.
and, but you should not be spraying because that's a no-no for you. I don't think you're aware of that.
The gal or guy from Bridger actually made me aware of that and
Okay.
informed me of a vinegar concoction that we can spray around
Okay,
the playground.
either end, but there's another alternative, and there's
Okay.
a lot of the towns do it. You call Carbon County Weed District. Because if
Okay.
you have
That's
to have any
noxious.
spraying at the sewer lagoon and stuff, because
Yeah.
there's all these laws, if you're spraying that are like a mile long that you can't comply with, you have to be a commercial, you have to
Right.
get a license and stuff.
And Mark has been in touch with the Carbon County Weed District.
But,
Yeah.
get them, but it's right up at the front, it's stayed mowed, but it's a big patch of Canadian, I'm like looking down the other day
Oh,
going,
geez.
are you kidding me?
Okay.
And it's right up by where that, flower planter is at.
Okay.
It's mowed and it's green and it looks nice, but you wouldn't
Okay.
know unless you was right
Jerry.
there.
Is the city mowing that by the road up by where Jay lives, along that ditch there?
We're mowing the one side of it, we're not taking care of the ditch, obviously,
Right,
because
but why is the
that's 8
city,
feet tall.
if the city mows that, why don't they mow
It's
all that
mine.
going down River Street too?
They do
Mine
most of
to do.
it.
Do they?
Oh, yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why are we mowing borrow pits down East River Street?
To make it look good.
Really?
Wow.
I don't see him coming down mowing mine.
He's been mowing mine spur loop. And that's city property.
Well, there's a lot of city property, why don't they mow all of it then?
We've been trying to get to it, yes. But
To me, it looks like,
we have an ordinance that says though that the residents are responsible to the edge of the road
yeah,
for their property. And they should, yes, they should go out and mow that.
I think everything looks great, what you guys doing looks great,
So we
but
upset-
that's a lot of man hours and gas and machinery where you could be using it on roads or something like that. I
Good
think.
point,
Who,
good point, but
I'm just
you
saying-
realize what it's gonna look like in 3 weeks.
that's
Well,
all.
that's what you got, that's what you got your ordinances for.
Yeah.
I'm talking down East River Street,
Yeah.
for a prime example. Both sides of the borrow pit, about a block, block and a half, maybe 2 blocks down.
Yeah.
Your guy mows. If you're gonna mow it all the way down, or don't mow it at all. That's not city property. That's personal property. That's
Okay, so
something
I'm just
responsible.
gonna check to be clear, so just let it go to seed? Is that what we want?
No, I'm just saying.
Well, no,
you
like,
have
that's what it
ordinance.
sounds like. I'm
No,
just
you
saying-
have an ordinance. What I'm
And I
saying
fully
is,
get that, but to, in place that, so I call this guy in and be like, hey, go leave a note on their door, he does his due diligence. And at the other part, sometimes, man, vigilante good deeds are a good thing. Like,
Find
I
'em.
mean,
that's what you
they
got
are,
the ordinance
because
for.
at the other part is, some people are just lazy.
I got it.
That's it.
I got
And
it.
it's easier to protect and take care of it beforehand.
I understand, but you're talking about everything's costing you money.
And I fully
You
get
got
it.
wear and tear, you got gas and everything like that, but you're
100%
paying a
understood.
guy to mow private property.
Perfect, so we just pull the plug in and just let it go.
Yeah.
Hey,
And we
Fine.
know, we just hand out notes,
I-
we'll see where it goes. I'm fully behind this, like, I get saving money, and money in your pocket is a hell of a lot better, so we'll just hand out notes.
But what I'm
And it'll
saying
go
is,
that 2 months, and then we'll be into October, and he's still knocking on their door saying, hey, mow your lawn.
give them a
I'm just-
fine, that's what your ordinance
And I
is.
get it, no, that's,
But,
like, I'm fully behind that, but,
okay, I understand that, so then I'll just let mine go to crap so he can come down and mow mine
and
too.
well, and then, so we just put a note on your door, and it takes the
Oh,
can
but
for 2
what I'm
months.
saying, I understand what you're saying,
It's
Dave, but what you're saying is,
easier to be
it's
the bigger
letting
man
it
in the
go because they
situation.
don't mow theirs.
I know, it sucks. Shit
You're gonna
neighbors
mow
are shit
it, so if I don't
neighbors.
mow mine,
get
you're
it.
gonna
Okay,
come mow mine.
Jeremy, we've had enough there.
It's gotta be.
We
I
have,
get
Tammy's
you.
next.
okay, I'm sorry, but I might have a solution to this little deal here. Joliet kind of just went through this and they sent a guy a notice and he had 1 week to clean it up. And if he didn't, they contracted
Bill and man hours.
and now get this, I couldn't believe this. They paid these 2 people $50 an hour to go down and do this guy's property. And he come by and he said, I want you to be here every week and I'll pay you out of my own pocket. And they said, we gotta raise our rates to $75 an hour.
Well, that's what's supposed to be happening.
But that would probably be if they knew that you were actually gonna follow through. I get both of you guys' points,
Well,
but
and I can tell you that it's hard for Matt to go out and do this because he's busy.
mhm.
It's hard for Harley to get out and do this because she's busy.
She's pregnant.
I've got, and she's pregnant, that's right. And she don't, you
Don't
know,
matter.
But I understand that, Tim,
but
but you seem to recall, the first 2 years I was on this job, I did all of this by myself.
I know you did.
Mowing and everything,
I know you did.
so it can be done.
Yeah,
And I'm not confident, I think it looks great that he's mowing. But what I'm saying is if you're talking about pinching pennies, trying to find money for this,
And I fully get that.
there's full
I do.
income right there.
I do.
yes. Jerry,
Well, I thought that the railroad gave that property to the people who lived in those houses.
no,
You're positive on that?
For Waynesburg.
mine's
Because
pretty.
I thought, pretty sure the blacksmith had that.
He had to go and hire an attorney and I'm not sure, I know it was done a long time ago.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know if
There's
the
an
town
application
approved it or
system
not.
you go through.
But I know there was a legal process that he had to go through.
Because I just thought
Yeah.
they all got that plan where the
Yeah.
railroad went through.
But I have asked people for their letters because people have said they have letters, but nobody's ever been able to produce any. We talked to the attorney and the attorney said it's the towns. So if it's the towns, then
We take care of it.
we have to take care of it.
23 years, they haven't taken care of any of that behind my house between mine and Randy Graham's. It's been either Randy or myself.
I
Yes.
mowed 2 city blocks for the last 7 years, so I get your
And
pain.
the other side of the ditch is the same way.
Yeah, I understand that. It's, mowing the grass is a tough deal. And it's expensive. And
Well,
it's time.
Mike was doing it, he come up and mowed all that stuff out in front of the house there by the ditch.
But what would be
We're
more,
gonna take care of it ourselves.
what would be more important in priorities? A man's leaky water lines,
Mhm.
where you have water bubbling out of the ground running down the road, or get on a lawnmower? You know,
I know you gotta fix the water leaks,
that's,
yeah.
we have
so
to,
damn-
we have to do the priorities to do that. And it's just not just leaky water lines. We have DEQ breathing down our neck to make sure that everything that we do is legal, and we're behind on stuff that we have to get caught up on. And it's a time-consuming process. I'm not saying it's perfect, by no means, but we're trying to get things to where we can make it easier on ourselves, and thus become less expensive.
So my idea is that we don't mow private property.
We don't.
That's not the policy of Fromberg, Montana.
That is the policy of Fromberg, Montana. We don't mow private property.
Then we should stop mowing private property.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And
And private property, is that the roadways?
It's whatever,
Boulevards,
it
everything.
doesn't belong to the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause I don't think we got enough in the tills to be doing extra stuff like that. And like I said, if we can save $100 a month, or $200 a month, or $300 a month, I'm sure we can find a slot for it. And if the people that own the private property don't wanna care for their lawns, then we can hire Jeremy to go mow it, and we'll bill them.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I like
Just
the
like
idea
it's
of a
supposed to
week.
be done.
So if you guys see somebody that's got a problem, you got a question?
Yes, he is saying you're supposed to bill people for mowing their properties if they don't mow it themselves.
Right.
Obviously, they're not going to mow it. How are you gonna get the money out of it?
We lean their property,
Yes, we
In
put
the
a
end.
lien. We put a lien on our stuff.
then people don't like that.
No,
And you put it
I'd
on the
imagine.
taxes also.
That's the only way legally you can, is
Put it on the taxes, we've done
It's the
it.
only legally way.
They did it for
And
years.
every year we put a number of people on there, added to their taxes.
And some people do pay it. Some people
Yeah.
just don't know who to call. That was the case over there.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, be here every week, we'll pay it.
But it's unfair to mow somebody's yard and not mow somebody else's.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not right.
I
That's
just-
not the way you do business.
And as far as Jeremy doing, I don't know what lawns he would be mowing.
Well,
You
we
don't mow
brought
any
up,
lawns just
No,
along
we're
the
down.
we brought up this,
Trying to
the